this video, I'm doing a Vegeta fan art piece, and this is right now what you're looking at is just some of the sketches that I'm going through, trying to get used to drawing again, and trying to figure out some poses and basically just kind of get myself back into the process. Kind of warming up and figuring out what I want my painting to look like. Um, so you can see some of the artwork that you see on my sketch pad. Some of them are studies of other artists, and some of them are my own. Um, I did have a Goku and a Vegeta, kind of just regular anime style. I did a study of that anime style, and then I also did a study um, of trying to draw that version a little more realistic, but kind of using the same pose that the anime was drawn in, and kind of trying to bridge the gap from anime style to semi-realism, which has pretty much always been my goal. My goal has always been to kind of bridge the gap between not realistic and try to bring it a little more into realism, and not exactly like photorealistic, but maybe as realistic as I feel comfortable with pursuing with my abilities. Alright, so here we go with the beginning of the Vegeta painting. And I tend to use this kind of pose where you're looking up at the character, and I've heard that is, if you want to portray the character as a strong character, looking up at the character is always beneficial. And if you want to convey insignificance, or not the opposite of power, is to have a looking down angle, which will convey the opposite. So for this pose, I found it helpful. A lot of times I just try to wing it, and usually I start with the head, and sometimes I'll just wing it, and I'll try to draw that head in perspective. I've used this pose quite a bit, and so I should have it down, and I do have a bit of muscle memory in drawing that pose, but I found that it did help to kind of almost draw a square in that perspective. I did find it helpful. It kind of set up some nice guidelines for me to follow, because sometimes you can kind of get lost in the process when you're trying to put on the canvas what the ideas that you have in your head. So sometimes these perspective lines can help you out quite a bit, and I would definitely use them more in the future. Sometimes you think, depending on what level you're at, you might think, well, I don't need to do that, because, well, frankly, you might think that you're better than that, but sometimes these things can just help simplify the process, and help you out quite a bit. So here I am trying to render in the face a little bit, and I will say a lot of those face studies that I did before this helped out quite a bit. As I mentioned before, it's been a few years that I haven't drawn or painted or done anything. Basically because I kind of had, I don't know if I had tendonitis or carpal tunnel or what the problem was, but I had to quit drawing, and I started my own business doing handyman work, and so I've been doing that for a few years, and I kind of had to give up the art stuff. It doesn't make any sense to me. I can do a lot of work, physical work that's pretty hard and taxing on your arms and wrists. But for some reason, as soon as I pick up a pencil or a paintbrush, um, it's way worse. So go figure. But I'm trying to just get back into things and not go full time. I'm not going to be drawing 40 hours or 80 hours a week like I used to. I'm just going to kind of do art for fun and try and just do what I enjoy. Sometimes I find myself working, renovating, doing all kinds of projects, and it's nice to just kind of slow down and do the things you enjoy in life. So basically, that's why I started the channel. Just want to have fun and document some of these paintings, and who knows what this can grow into, but just trying to have some fun and do what I love. So hey guys, if you're enjoying the video, if you could give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click on all notifications to stay updated. Alright, so I would imagine, Vegeta being Vegeta. He's kind of a tough guy. So I figure this pose here kind of embraces the classic Vegeta persona, attitude. And I figure, I wasn't really sure if he's going to be going Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 1, or if he's going to be going Super Saiyan God, or the Royal Blue Super Saiyan that he's got now. And I even thought about doing the Majin Buu Super Saiyan with the M stamp on his forehead. Yeah, so this is part 1, and part 2 I'm going to have to figure out. Is he glowing? Is he not glowing? Is he Super Saiyan? Is he blue? Is he blonde? Gonna have to figure those things out. Also, I need to decide on his, if he's got armor, if he doesn't have armor. Trying to get that figured out. So, at this point, I'm trying to kind of wrap the armor around his physique, and having a little bit of trouble because, as you can see, he's a little bit muscled up. I did increase his muscle mass quite a bit, and that did feel appropriate for the power level of a Super Saiyan. So there's that. And I did figure for the background I'm probably just going to do storm clouds, and I'm not sure if there's going to be any mountain ranges in the back. Maybe something, maybe not. And may have to do a study for the clouds. I haven't painted any. Keep in mind I haven't painted anything in years, so and it wasn't even that good when I quit. So this is proving to be quite difficult. So I did take a reference photo kind of for my face and for the angles here. Not following it to a T, just trying to lightly use it as reference. Um, so at this point, I'm just trying to address the things that bother me the most so far. It's a lot of I do a lot of tweaking. I do a lot of canvas flipping. Um, just trying to address the biggest problems that I can see first, and before we get too into the painting and kind of fixing those mistakes become harder and harder. But I'm never opposed to fixing a mistake, no matter how far I'm into the painting. Um, so right now I'm just trying to lay in some colors and try to get a feel for the mood and the atmosphere, and maybe what color I want the clouds, and is it a blue sky and it's just dark clouds rolling in. But as usual, I will do a couple color balance layers, or kind of just shift all the hues and see what I like, kind of compare it to what I had. All right, so trying to work on the flesh tones, although I will say until you have your mood and your atmosphere, um, basically you need your lighting down, and you need to know what color your lighting is before you kind of start working on all the tones. I mean, those things can be shifted in Photoshop, um, but that is one of the problems I'm having with this painting. Is if I wanted his hair to be blonde, you should probably just start off with it blonde, and if it's glowing, then you're going to need that light kind of emanating from his hair, and lighting his face and his body, rightfully so. So I think if I am going to light, if his hair is going to be glowing, either blue or yellow, it's going to be quite a bit of work to do, just because I've kind of rendered him from the beginning having black hair, and maybe just daylight on his face and his body so far. So here I'm kind of working on the clouds, and doing a couple gradient layers to try and get the mood, um, try and darken things up a little bit. And I mean, these things really make a difference when you start working on the lighting, and you just kind of the whole piece just kind of evolves into, um, from its starting point. It goes from lines and just a sketchy drawing to, it starts to feel like a character actually set in a scene. So you may be asking yourself, why has this dude got so many muscles? And Why does Vegeta look like this? Well, basically because of my age, and I grew up watching stuff in the 80s and 90s, and heroes were heroes. Oh, I do want to mention this was a pretty sweet spot right here. I realized that this guy could have easily been Gladiator from Marvel, the Marvel Universe, but yeah, I think I missed my opportunity with that one. Um, Probably gonna have to do a Gladiator piece, but yeah, basically I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and the heroes were, that's just how they were. Um, there was He-Man. There was Jean-Claude Van Damme, Stallone, Schwarzenegger. Those were the type of heroes that we grew up with then, and so those are usually the kind of um, the type of characters that I draw. So you'll see this revolving theme over and over in my drawings. So at this point, trying to trying to get the base colors down, and trying to imagine what the highlight colors are going to be, and trying to calculate. Okay, it's going to be cool lighting, warm lighting. So basically, um, trying to paint the form, round the shapes, uh, and try and get the correct lighting. All the while trying to polish up what I have, trying to render the forms correctly. I do struggle a little bit on the neck area, so I'm trying to bridge that gap between a real muscular neck, and but maybe not trying to over render some of the muscles, which I tend to do. I tend to draw everything, all the muscles like they're tense, and some should be tense, and some should be relaxed. And I think, as you can see in the tricep area, the tricep looks like it's kind of flexed right now. I think I may go back and make it look relaxed, because basically most of his arms should be relaxed. There might be a little tension in his upper forearm area, and I think his shoulders are probably going to be uh, they need to be striated, but probably not tense. So I'm not sure if I've really achieved that yet. I think I'll probably revisit that a few times. But at this point, I'm trying to get his gloves on, and I'm trying to kind of trying to use an easy process where I was going to kind of copy and paste his arm and blow it up a little bit, and then just try to get the right colors for the glove, and that is what I end up doing. And it was kind of a cheat hack, but it worked out, and it saved me a little bit of time. Um, so the gloves, they should show a little bit of form underneath. Trying to get the proper amount of details right on that is kind of tricky. You're probably gonna see a little bit of a little bit of muscle form and arm form through there, because the gloves aren't going to be real thick. You know, if they were real thick leather gloves, you probably wouldn't see anything. But I would imagine these gloves are pretty thin, so you're going to see quite a bit of the form underneath. So at this point, I'm kind of playing around with the idea. Are his eyes glowing? Is there electric kind of lightning bolts in the atmosphere, conveying the Super Saiyan transformation? You know, are his eyes glowing? Is his hair glowing? So I kind of go back and forth, and I still haven't figured it out yet, but you know, I'm getting there, and you'll figure it out eventually. And that is a reoccurring theme, I think, for most artists, is you're never quite satisfied. You're never real happy with the piece. You know, you're always just trying to polish and make things better. But you kind of have to settle sometimes. Sometimes the what you have in your mind, you can't always put down to the canvas. Alright, so we're getting towards the end of this video, and if you guys think this video was too long, I can always make them shorter in the future. I didn't want to make it too quick and not explain anything, and I didn't want to make it too long and kind of bore everyone. So you guys let me know in the comments if you want to see them faster or slower, more explaining, maybe more in depth on how I do some of these things. You know, I don't use a lot of tricks, but you know, if you're new to Photoshop, then you may not know how to do any of these things. So thanks for watching, and part 2 coming out soon. Part 2 will be the finish.
Now let me just sign my name like a professional. Time for business. Art, magic, jutsu, commence. I break you.
Thanks for watching.